to accept that there is a higher intelligence behind it all. And nature is by nature awe-inspiring. When we see a beautiful sunrise, it's awe-inspiring. When we are on top of a great mountain, the greatness of it is awe-inspiring. When we stand in front of the ocean, you get a sense of eternity. And immediately, wave after wave, washing on the beach. So, in the mode of goodness, one naturally is receptive to this awe that is inspired by nature, and automatically religious sentiment awakens. And then when one hears the system of belief of Krishna consciousness, then it makes perfect sense. Because why would God be a sour old man sitting on a beard, with a beard on a cloud, sorry? I mean, he must have just gotten up, and probably with rheumatism due to his old age, and he's got a hell of a day, and he's sitting on that cloud, and then just some sinner walks under the cloud. Bang! Thunderbolt for you. Suits you right. He's not a blissful God, right? I mean, and then Krishna is such a blissful God. He's so blissful, and he sees the sin. Yeah, but he's so in bliss anyway. You are behaving like a dog, but anyway, here, catch some mercy. It makes so much sense. It's so natural for one who's in the mode of goodness to see life. Yeah. All right, yes, please.
Roger, this is connected to the point you made earlier, but the world has a certain perception of what it means to be humble, and you see that when the Acharyas spoke strongly against the Mayavadis, it was an expression of humility as well. So I just wonder, what is the definition of humility, specifically in regards to this?
You know, when you were talking for 2 minutes or 2 seconds, my brain switched off and I just didn't hear it. Please repeat.
People in this world have a certain perception of what it means to be humble, tolerant. And we see, sometimes when they see how the Acharyas acted, like, sometimes Prabhupada spoke strongly against Mayavadis in person. So my question was, what is the definition of humility and to be tolerant?
Yes.
Respectful to others?
First of all, humility simply means honesty. Because as soon as we get honest, then we must admit our limited position. So lack of humility is, it's false pride. So it's a false conception of the self. So first of all, the essence of humility is honesty. To be thoroughly honest. A sadhu is described as thoroughly honest. So when one is thoroughly honest, one realizes I'm just a very small, infinitesimal being, dependent in all respects on external arrangements. I'm breathing air, I need water, I need food, I need a certain temperature. As soon as the ice age begins, I'll be finished, as they are now thinking. So humility is realizing one's dependence through honesty. As far as the Vaishnavas, then their behavior, Srila Prabhupada said, like a lion on the chase and a lamb at home, right? Or when we are out preaching, we have to sometimes be strong, because in the world, humility is not always appreciated. Yes. One Dutch comedian did some sort of program on humility once, where he came in and he had a cap on, and he came for a job interview, and the job interviewer was sitting behind a screen. You couldn't see him, and there was just this cold voice commanding, cold voice coming out of loudspeakers. And the man who came to apply for the job, he was all the time acting very humble, taking his cap. "Excuse me, sir, but please allow me to come in. Thank you very much, please." And every 10 seconds he would say, "Thank you very much, please." And he looked like a total, like a fool who naturally attracted aggression. It's kind of like, he looked like the kind of guy you want to kick. You know? Yeah. So that's how the world sometimes responds to humility. Hare Krishna. Sucker. You know? Right? Just like people have this aggression. You know, yesterday we were sitting in the park for a moment to have a little break before the Harinal, because after all they travel and lecture and then Harinal was huffing and puffing. So I was sitting in the park and a bum came and he was a total derelict, right? So, but then he stood in front of me and stared at me. So I said, friendly, I said, "How are you?" You know? And he looked at me like dazed, you know? I said again, "How are you?" Then he said, "Wow, nobody ever asks me how I am." He said, you are a real nice guy." Yeah? And he peacefully left, you know? Then he came to the next bench and he stood there in front of that, and there was a boy with a girl, yeah, and the guy just said, "You, get out of here, you're just a shithead, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here," you know? So aggressive. And the drunk just looked at him and he saw that the guy had bigger muscles than him, so he turned around and left. No? But you know, if he would have been a little less big, he might have become aggressive. And then you just see, that's how it works in the world. So much aggression is there. So we cannot always come. "Thank you very much, please, Prabhu, would you allow me to speak to you and present you something of this very wonderful philosophy, which is like eternal and will benefit you very much." Yeah, you can just think of a few 4-letter words that they might offer you in response. So therefore, it could be wise to have an understanding. Now we're over time, so we're going to end. But humility is honesty. Thoroughly honest. Thank you very much. Shukran.